means in a little bit. Let's start with the basics, okay? This refers to a box plot, also called a box and whisker plot. We'll see what the box looks like, and we'll see what the whisker looks like. So yesterday we talked about, what does a dot plot do? It shows the frequency of data points. What does a bar graph do? It compares discrete data with bars. A histogram compares continuous data with bars. A box plot is a 5-number summary of a set of data. Okay, here are the 5 numbers. Can I get a volunteer to read out what a minimum is? Tyler, go for it.
The lowest data point in the set.
Lowest data point in the set, right? Just like when we were talking about functions, a minimum is the lowest point. Can I get a volunteer to read out maximum? Aaron, go for it. Thank you.
The highest data point in the set.
Perfect. Give me a thumbs up if those first 2 are making sense. Good. I'm glad. Number 3, can someone read median? Alex, go for it.
Q2, the middle value of the entire data set, or the mean of the 2 middle values.
Perfect. And that's what we talked about on Monday. We all know how to find the median. If it's an odd number, it's the middle. If it's an even number, you take the 2 middles and you find the average or the mean of those 2, right? Can I get a volunteer for lower quartile? Tyler, again, go for it.
Median of the lower half.
That's right, the median of the lower half. And the lower quartile is called Q1. Okay? And finally, the upper quartile, Q3, is the median of the upper half. Do you have a question?
Oh.
No. Thank you. So, I appreciate it. So, those are our 5 numbers that we're going to find. The first 3 are pretty easy. The 4th and 5th sound kind of tricky, but they're actually not bad at all. Let's take a look. This first example says the average age at which women first get married for 8 different countries is shown here. So we've got 25, 26, 21, 27, 31, 31, 29, 20. Okay? First thing we're going to do is identify N. How many data points or how many countries do we have in this data set? We've got 8 of them. Is that even or odd? Even. Okay, it's important for us to note just mentally whether we have an even number of data points or odd, because when we're doing a box plot and finding the IQR, it's all about the median. So if I know that I have an even number of data points, my median, it's going to change what I do, right? Let's arrange them from least to greatest. Which country has the lowest average age for women getting married? 20. What's the next lowest? 21. What's after that? 25. And then 26. And then 27. And then 29. 31. And 31. Easy part first. What's my minimum here? 20. Okay, and what's my max? 31. That part's not too bad. What's the biggest number? What's the smallest number? Now, it doesn't matter that we have 2 of the same maximum. That's totally fine. Okay? Now, because we said N is even, right, if I go back up to my 5-number summary, I found the minimum, I found the maximum. What should I find next? The median. Well, if I have an even number of data points, I can't just find a middle point, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line directly down the middle, splitting up my data set into a left half and a right half. Everybody see that? Okay. If I want to find the median, which 2 numbers am I going to find the average of? Yeah, Aaron?
26 and 27.
That's right. 26 and 27.
Wouldn't that be 26.7?
It would be 26 point something.
0.5.
0.5.
Yeah, say 0.7.
Yeah, that's okay. I knew what you meant. That's my Q2, or my median for the set, 26.5. And again, we talked about how to find the median on Monday. There's nothing new or different about this median when compared to the previous iteration of it. Yeah, Liana?
Since we're talking about like years for this,
No, because you can be 26 and a half years old. Yeah, good question. I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, age is continuous, right? Every second, every millisecond, you're getting older. So when we talked yesterday about, non-continuous or discrete versus continuous, in the same way that time is always going by the second, millisecond, all that stuff, that would be continuous data. Here, same thing. Age is continuous. You're always aging every single second, right? Some of us faster than others. So there's my Q2, 26.5. Now we're going to find the lower quartile. Well, how am I going to find the lower quartile? What side of this data set do you think I'm going to look at? The left or the right? Where are my lower values?
Left.
On the left. So I'm just going to look at these 4 numbers right here. Notice how I'm including that 26 that I already used. We'll come back to that later. Amongst these 4 lower values, how can I find the median of just those lower values? Alex, what can I do?
You add up all the lower values together and then divide it by the amount of the lower values.
Perfect. I love that. That would be if we want to find the mean. Exactly. If we want to find the median, what do? What did we just do for the median, Tyler?
Take the average of the middle 2 numbers.
That's right. We're going to take 21 and 25, and we're going to find the mean for those. Gives me 46 over 2, which comes out to 23. Oops, can't even see it. There we go. Does it sound good so far? Okay, that's my Q1. Now we're going to find the upper quartile. Which values do you think I'm going to look at to find the upper quartile? The right side, 27 through 31. How can I find the median for those 4 numbers? Alex, what can I do now?
Add up 29 and 31 because they're the middle number.
That's right. I take my 2 middle numbers and I find the mean. 29 plus 31 over 2 equals 60 over 2, which is 30. That is my Q3. Those are my 5 numbers that I'm looking for. This is a 5-number summary. I just found 5 numbers. The minimum of 20, my Q1 of 23, my Q2 of 26.5, my Q3 of 30, and my max of 31. Right? Notice how as we go down here, those are in order. Well, not in the order I wrote them. That's my bad. But we can put them all in order. Now, this is just a little side note here because this might come up on the Alex assignment. If my n was odd, right? Let's imagine I don't have this last 31 here, and I only have 7 data points. What would the median be of this whole set of data right here? 26, right? I don't need to find the mean. I don't need to add. I don't need to divide, anything like that. If I have an odd number, this is extremely important, okay? If I have an odd number and I see, okay, my median is 26, Q2 is 26. Now when I go to find Q1, I'm not going to include 26 in my quartiles because it's in the middle, right? So my lower quartile here would be 20, 21, 25. What would the median of those 3 numbers be? 21. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. We may see an example of that later, but we might not. Did I give you the second page? No, I did not. Okay. So here, actually, let's just real quick, let's write this. Let's say I have the same data set just without the last value. Okay. So my median would be this 26 right in the middle. That's my Q2. My lower quartile is just going to be these 3 numbers on the left. My upper quartile is just going to be these 3 numbers on the right. All right, so there's actually a lot less work for us if we have an odd number of data points, because now I don't need to find the averages of anything. I know that my lower median is Q1 and my upper median is Q3. Right? If we compare it to, the even data set, the one that we worked with, my median went from 26.5 to 26. My Q went from 23 to 21. And my Q3 went from 30 to 29. So everything got shifted down because we took away one of my max values. Okay, hopefully you see what I'm talking about. We're there with that. What questions can I answer about that first part? Quick show of thumbs, how much sense is that making so far? Thumbs up makes perfect sense. Thumbs sideways kind of makes sense. Thumbs down makes no sense at all. Okay, gotcha. It's a lot of prep work just to make a little box plot, but let's see how that's going to turn out with this second page. We didn't even make the box plot yet. We didn't even make the parts yet. Parts of the parts. We just found the 5 numbers that we need to plot on the box plot. Okay, guys, stop playing with this part. That's going to be taken away. You'll do this. Oh, the line.
You should have come to me, bro.
All right. Oh, we're still gluing in? Yeah, we're still gluing in. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So if we're going to construct our box plot, first we got to scale our number line. Okay, so here's my number line. Let's look back at my range of values here. My ages range from 20 to 31. Okay? So that's like 11 ages. We only have how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we should probably go by intervals of what?
2.
Probably 2s, right? So let's start with, let's start 18. Let's see, will that work? 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. Yeah, let's do that. 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. It's okay if we go a little bit over. That's fine. Okay, 3 nice simple steps. Again, this is real easy to read. If you ever forget, like the day before the test, and you need to review, you can just read this. The first thing we need to do is make dots above each of the 5 numbers we identified on the previous page. Starting with the min. What's my minimum here?
20.
My minimum was what?
20.
20. I'm going to make a dot above it like that. Okay? What was my Q1? My Q1 was 23. I'm going to go in between 22 and 24 to make a dot right there. What was my median? My Q2? 26.5. So I'm going to go halfway between 26 and 27, or a quarter of the way between 26 and 28. There's my median. What about my Q3, my upper quartile median?
30.
30. Nice and simple. And what's my max?
31.
31. So anytime we make a box plot, we should have 5 dots like this. Now they're always going to be kind of spread out differently. Sometimes they'll be spread out nice and even, sometimes not so much. Everyone good on the dots?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to draw a box from Q1 to Q3 with a vertical line down the middle at Q2. Here's what that looks like. We're going to draw a box from Q1 to Q3, just like this. Good. It looks familiar now that we've seen it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to draw a vertical line down the middle at Q2, at my median. With me so far?
Yes.
That's the box, okay? There's a reason this is called the box and whisker plot. Now we got to draw the whiskers, right? All we're going to do is extend horizontal lines from our minimum to Q1. Here's my minimum. There's Q1. I'm going to connect them with a horizontal line. And from the max to Q3, here's my max. Here's my Q3. I'm going to connect those with a horizontal line as well. There's our box plot right there. A little more abstract looking than a dot plot that we talked about yesterday, or a bar graph or a histogram, but that's what we got. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay. Now let's talk about two things. We're going to first talk about the range. Okay, this is where things can get confusing. Range just means in general, right? When we were talking about functions, my range is the lowest y value to the highest y value. Here, my range is the difference between my max and my min. What did I say my maximum was in this set? What's my highest number? 31. And what's my lowest number? 20. What is 31 minus 20? 11. So my range here is 11. That part shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. It's just max minus min. So that's just in general, that's the range. Now the interquartile range is a little bit different. The interquartile range is this whole box that we created between Q1 and Q3. This is my interquartile range. Basically what we did is we split this data set into 4 equal parts. This first part right here, this second part right here, third part right here, and the fourth part right there. What do we notice about my 2 whiskers? Look at them for a second. My 2 whiskers right here and right there. One is longer, right? Why might one of my whiskers be longer than the other whisker? Yeah, Aaron, what do you think?
The range.
The range between them? Yeah, there's more of a range between them here and the less of a range between them there. Why is that, though? Is that right? Let's look back at our data set for a second. Okay, and we'll, right here, my lower and my upper. Tyler, what do you think?
It's hard to explain, but so like if there's a lower number on one side
Yeah?
and the median is like lower,
Uh-huh.
but then on the other side is like closer to the Q3.
Okay. I see what you're saying. You're definitely on the right track.
It's like the max is closer to Q3.
The max is closer to Q3 than the min is to Q1. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're 100% right. Alex, want to build on that?
I was
Are you gonna say-
basically.
Same thing? Yeah. So basically, the reason why this outer whisker is so small is because my upper values aren't very spread out. 29, 31, 31. Those are like right next to each other, right? But my lower values, 20, 21, 25, that's a lot wider range, right? There's like 5 ages, 6 between here and there. There's only 3 in between there and there, right? So that's my IQR, that little space in the middle, okay? And I've got some younger ages past that. Davis, don't do that. And I've got some older ages past my Q3, but that's okay. So if I want to find what the IQR is, just like finding the regular range, max minus min, I'm going to do Q3 minus Q1. What was my Q3 again?
30.
30. And what was my Q1?
23.
23. So what's my IQR? 7. So basically what these two numbers tell me is that in this data set, right, from the lowest age to the highest age, there's about 11 years in between those two. That's what this range here tells me. Okay? What the IQR tells me is that the majority of my data only falls within the 7 middle points there for that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter too much about why. But let's interpret what this box plot is telling us. There are blank women getting married younger than 26.5 than there are women getting married older than 26.5. Think about what might go in that box. You may think more, you may think less. What is 26.5? Median. What is the median? It's the middle. So do you guys think there's more? Give me thumbs up for more, thumbs down for less. There are blank women getting married younger than 26 and a half than getting married older than 26 and a half. Thumbs up if you think more, thumbs down if you think less. Okay. And I see a couple of us right in the middle, which is a great guess. It's neither more or less. It's the same. That's what the median tells me. There are the same number of women getting married younger than 26.5 as there are women getting married older than 26.5. This is definitely going to come up in the Alex, so it's important we understand this. 26.5 is right in the middle. There's the exact same number of people lower than that and higher than that. That's the main difference between the mean and the median. The mean is the average of all of them. The median is directly in the middle. So when I'm thinking about IQR and I have a point directly in the middle, I know that the points lower than that is the same number as the points higher than that. What about this next one? The number of women getting married younger than 30 is blank than the number of women getting married older than 30. And the last one, the number of women getting married younger than 23 is blank the number of women getting married older than 23. One of these is more, one of these is less. See if you can figure out with your group, rationally speaking, which one is which. Take about 60 seconds right now. Go ahead. And justify your reasoning, too. Explain how you know what you're saying.
It's more because there's two.
It's more. Yeah, actually it is more.
All right. What do we think? First one. Is it more or is it less? More. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. More.
Yeah.
Let's think about what that means. The number of women getting married younger than 30 is more. Here's 30. The number of women getting married lower than 30, that's this whole part. That's 3/4 of my data. So obviously, yeah, that one's going to be more. The number of women getting married younger than 23, here's 23. There's only one tiny little whisker of women getting married younger than 23 in this data. So that one's going to be less. How's that sound? Good? All right. Do me a favor, go ahead and sign onto your Chromebooks then and get started on A20. If you have questions about it, please let me know so we can work it out. As you're getting started, I'll get your test pack back, passed back, so you can see how you did on that.